Suite de notre aventure avec le Triste Saint de l'East End. J'ai interrompu une dispute dans le bureau d'Edgar Swansea en revenant de l'enterrement de ma sœur. Un homme était là, Geoffrey McCollum, le commandant de la garde de Priwen. Il soupçonne le Pembroke Hospital de mener des activités vampiriques en ce moment même. Il m'a immédiatement reconnu pour ce que je suis vraiment, un vampire, mais ce n'est pas pour moi qu'il était venu. Sean Hampton, l'homme que j'ai sauvé des griffes de William Bishop, s'est transformé en Skal et s'est échappé de l'hôpital après avoir tué un autre patient. En tant que directeur actuel, le docteur Swansea craint pour la sécurité de l'établissement puisque c'est moi qui ai fait entrer le meurtrier au sein de l'hôpital. J'irai le chercher et je restaurerai la réputation du Pembroke Hospital. Je dois agir rapidement si je veux protéger les mortels susceptibles de croiser la route de Sean Hampton en chemin pour l'East End. Tiens, j'avais appris des choses sur elle de mémoire.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
Everybody's afraid. Death has always been a frequent visitor. But murder? How can we cope with that?
As a nurse at this hospital, it is your duty to deal with these things as best you can.
Yeah. Until it's my turn to have blood spread all over the walls. I entered the room first, Dr. Reed. I've seen what that monster did to the woman.
Il me semblait avoir appris des choses dessus.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Ces activités.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
C'est pas toujours pour un vampire.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
Parler des récents événements.
Is there anything you can tell me about the recent commotion here?
Many things can happen under cover of night, Dr. Reed. But I took no part in this massacre.
But did you see or hear anything?
I can't say I did. But the smell of fresh blood almost made me faint, Doctor.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Direction donc les docks. Se mettre quelques points de repère pour arriver à bon port. On poursuivra les quêtes annexes après, ce qu'il nous en reste. Il faudra que je pense à faire un petit somme aussi parce que j'ai engrangé pas mal de points d'XP.
It seems the Priwen are redoubling their patrols in the district. I must be more careful.
Best be moving on.
Can you
I'd
read?
head back if I were you. See them?
Ah mais merde, ça c'est la merde, ça pique mon endurance et mon sang. Bah lui faut pas essayer de l'étourdir, il est... pas dire qu'il est immunisé, mais... On va essayer d'aller droit au but, pas faire trop de détours parce que... J'ai remarqué qu'il faut pas trop être coincé parce que on a vite tendance à crever. Esquive mais... à tout ramasser. Par rapport à mon chemin. Je peux dévier. De celui qui tire. Pas très résistant eux. Pas reconnaître le bar où on a été au tout début parce que quelqu'un qui est malade à ce moment-là. Là on attend. C'est d'en éliminer tout de suite. T'avais rien sur eux? Foiré. Il est arrivé là. Ça va falloir faire le tour. On va foutre la merde, Fred. Carte ta trajectoire. À l'heure du monde, alors par contre il y a beaucoup de gens que je connais pas. Rassembler des informations au sujet de l'endroit où se trouve Sean Hampton. Il va falloir que je... J'ai arraché d'un journal intime parce que je détourne le regard lorsqu'il se moque de ma couleur de peau. Je me déteste parce que je pleure comme une petite fille quand ils m'insultent, je me déteste. Parce que je les insulte comme un garçon quand ils ne sont pas là, je me déteste. Parce que je hais mes parents, je me déteste. Parce que je souris aux clients qui m'appellent Sabrina Grant, je me déteste. Parce que je n'ai jamais trouvé le courage d'avouer à Tom ce que je ressens. Sabrina. Je ne connais pas elle. Oh.
Mark my words, miss. These murders are the work of a vampire.
A vampire? Whatever do you mean?
I'm a tracker of these creatures. A vampire hunter.
You best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back and hunting all these poor folk, he needs a catching.
A sewer dog? What's it look like?
It's an old story. A monster with daggers for teeth and icy claws. He comes of a sudden, nighttime, claiming innocence, then vanishes.
Teeth, claws, murders by night?
Désolé de les interrompre, mais est-ce que c'est pas mon... Dyson là?
Good evening, sir.
Your
Whatever.
sewer dog.
Ah,
Don't you
c'est lui.
recognize me? We met a few nights ago.
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what I did the night before.
Ça
Yeah,
j'aime bien.
you had definitely drunk too much then as well. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Dyson Delaney. I'll try to remember you. This time.
Je vais quand même regarder d'abord, et puis voilà. Tac.
Inebriation aside, do you need medical help?
Yes. I feel sicker than usual these days.
Les médicaments.
Take
Ils
this.
sont pas très malades dans cette
And perhaps you could
dans
try
ce
to
quartier,
slow
mais ça
down
lui
the
fera du bien.
alcohol intake too.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop the only remedy I can afford.
Surely you must have had dreams and
J'ai
expectations
pas
when
parlé
you
de ça
were
avec
young,
lui.
like everybody else.
Sure. I wanted things to change. To really change. And to change for good. The bigger the dream, the harder the fall.
Sounds like you were an idealist, which is honorable.
No, sir. I was an anarchist and I believe that exclusive property is a robbery in nature. I wanted a new world to rise from the ashes, Dr. Reed.
Do you really think the world is that bad?
No, I believe we all can choose to make it better. But most of us are too weak, too corrupt and too guilty. I failed for sure, but others will come.
I want to know more about your past as an anarchist, Dyson.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor, make no mistake. I just reject violence as a tool to change the world, unlike my comrades.
Do you believe in a bloodless revolution, then?
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like your idea of peaceful change. I like it a lot.
Do you still see your comrades, then? Even if you don't agree with their methods anymore, I mean.
No. I hope they'll come to share my point of view one day. I'll raise my glass to that splendid idea.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Delaney?
I drink. I drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night. And then I drink some more.
Why do you drink so much?
Maybe it's because I prefer dying slowly. Death can be so abrupt. Personally, I like to see mine coming at my own pace.
You sound very sad, sir.
That's because I am, Doc.
Don't you work at all?
I'd love to, but I don't have the time. Didn't I tell you? drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly, so joyful.
Why are you so cynical?
Cynicism is the polite way to express despair, Doctor.
No reason at all to rejoice, then? Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
All right. Go on.
A few years ago, when I believed a resolute man could change things around here for good, a tragedy occurred nearby.
What kind of tragedy?
It was a bomb. Bomb that exploded and killed many people. Metal and blood everywhere. Shouts, fire, broken window of the shoe shop, the torn street light.
You lost people you loved that day, didn't you?
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst part is? I don't even remember where it happened. I've drunk so much to forget it, and now I can't remember where it was. I can't pay my homage to the dead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Delaney.
It's okay. If you ever find the place, just leave a flower for me there. Even if you tell me where it is, I'm not sure I'd memorize it.
Hommage aux victimes, d'accord.
Is there anything in particular?
How dare you say such?
No reason at all to rejoice, then? Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a
Another time, perhaps. I'm not sure.
Des fois,
I want
les
to
trucs
hear
qu'on croit pas avoir
another
fait, c'est piégeant. Bon,
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton.
revenons à notre
Do
enquête.
you know where I could find him?
I really don't know. I heard he'd been abducted. I don't know if he's back.
Who could tell me then?
About the sad saint. I'll try asking Tom what's about him.
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
Bon, moi, il est soigné.
Good evening, sir. Have you witnessed any suspicious activity or strange
policier.
events recently?
And what do you define as a strange event? More to the point, who are you?
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton, vampire hunter extraordinaire and warden of the East End.
A vampire hunter? Really?
I know what you're thinking. I'm just another lunatic howling at the moon, but I'm not. The bloodsuckers exist, and they're close.
Mr. Throgmorton,
Bien plus
I'm
près qu'il
Dr.
croit.
Jonathan Reed. I'd like to hear more about these vampires you're hunting.
A man of science? Well, I'll be glad to enlighten you.
Have you heard of the Guard of Priwen?
Of course. They're dedicated hunters. A little militant for my taste, but they do let anyone join.
So you hunt alone? That sounds risky.
C'est ce que j'allais dire.
Vampires are just like every other predator. They hunt when they're hungry and follow certain patterns. It's just a matter of observation and patience.
Were you ever tempted to join the Guard yourself?
I did think about it, but I'm more of a silent hunter. They're more of a sanitary militia.
What can you tell me about this neighborhood?
Did you hear about what happened to Jack Gillingham? Oh boy. It's a shame I wasn't around to protect him.
It's impossible to protect everyone. The violence seems endemic in this part of town.
But it's my duty. I am convinced Jack Gillingham was killed by a vampire. These evil rodents are spreading like a plague.
So, how exactly are you protecting these people? I'm curious.
I patrol late at night, investigating anything unusual. I try and encourage people to stay indoors, but people are careless.
How do you identify a vampire?
It's simple, really. They can't stand daylight. They're afraid of garlic and holy symbols. And they also cannot enter a house without being invited.
Have you ever killed one of these creatures? Yourself, I mean.
Of course I have. What kind of question is that? It's a dirty business, believe me.
Can I help in any way?
Actually, yes.
Oh
I
putain.
plan to put up posters
Un
to
chasseur
alert
de
the
vampires aidé
population
par
to
un
the
vampire.
vampire threat.
Are you asking me to paste posters about vampires around the docks?
If you wouldn't mind. If you did that, then I can focus on my patrols.
Trop fort. Chasseur de vampires mérite nouvelle enquête. Eh bien. Il n'est pas venu là pour ça. Hein.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me, Mr. Throgmorton?
The sad saint? He should be at his night asylum at this hour. But I cannot tell you how to find it, sorry.
Really? Why is that?
It's nothing personal, Doctor. I'm sure your intentions are good, but people who sleep there, they have plenty of reasons to hide.
Maybe at least you can tell me who could help me find him.
Tell you what, go and chat with Tom Watts.
Tom Watts.
He's a bartender and good judge of character. If he talks to you, then it's fine by me.
Barman.
I could make you tell me, but I respect your refusal. You really believe Sean is a saint, don't you?
All I will say is this. Gossip has it that when he was a child, he was molested. By a priest of all people. Funny thing is, though, it only strengthened his faith.
Goodbye, and good hunting, Mr. Throgmorton.
Donc là, les deux oiseaux m'ont donné des missions. D'accord, ce sera par là. Et lui. Ce sera ici. Moi je vais continuer mon enquête.
Damn it. I think drink no longer stirs me.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible. I've been told you could help me.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital. Did he leave or something?
I believe he returned to his flock. Can you confirm that?
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help but worry about the poor and sick. Oh, I guess it has something to do with what happened to him as a baby.
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the sad saint was abandoned as a baby in front of a Catholic orphanage in Dublin. It would explain his faith and need to help everyone.
The important thing is I find him, quickly.
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end of the pier.
Sabrina seems very fond of you, Tom.
I like her too, I really do. I know I'm her boss and I'm much older and all, but I like her for sure.
What is bothering you then?
Sabrina is an angry one. She wears it like a coat. I'm not sure I can make her shed that anger. It hurts to see her like that.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's not that bad. Thanks to people like the sad saint of the East End.
Who?
Sean Hampton, our own private holy figure. Few are foolish enough to make peace with the gangs. Sean is one of them.
How is it you can keep this place open? This part of town doesn't seem particularly safe.
Well, since everybody needs a drink, my pub is considered neutral ground by most groups.
Since I'm here, is there anything I can do?
Well, perhaps, Doctor. Peace partly depends on my stock of gin. With the epidemic, my supplies are running low.
How could a physician help you in this matter?
I have a small warehouse just past the quarantine line. Perhaps, with you being a doctor, you could go there and come back?
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know. Very well. Show me where it is. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's the key to get in. You're about to save many dry throats.
Bien, clé de l'entrepôt, nouvelle enquête, pénurie de produits primordiaux.
I see. So you get pressure from all sides about how this place should be run, do you?
Or something like that. Nothing that a few wise words and a bottle of gin can't solve.
You're something of a figurehead around here.
I'm only pouring alcohol for everyone to forget their troubles. Sean Hampton is the one giving them long-term hope.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
I didn't deserve this.
Trouver Sean. Donc là, on a récupéré des informations. Et on sait plus précisément où il est. Profiter juste pour regarder où ma nouvelle mission peut m'emmener, pour vérifier que je sois pas... Ouais. Récupérer des bouteilles, hein. C'est juste à côté. Oh putain. J'ai vu 22 là. Putain mais tire-moi pas dessus, toi espèce d'andouille là. Ouais. Travers le mur, ça j'aime pas trop. Il arrête de me tirer dessus. Hein. Sérieux. Bon, il est mort. Oui, il a repris de la vie là. Elle est plus croquée. On va aller de ce côté-ci. Non. Il arrête de reprendre de lui, hein. Ça va pas le faire. combat. Plus 5 XP, non mais je rêve. Il en valait les 250 lui. Récupérer. C'est ici. Est-ce que c'est ici? Article de journal. Un jeune arrêté pour tentative de meurtre. La nuit dernière, un jeune homme du nom de Tom Watts a été appréhendé par la police pour une tentative de meurtre dans le célèbre restaurant The Silver Bell sur Percival Street. Le suspect a été aperçu devant le restaurant, un pistolet à la main, visant les clients pendant près d'une minute sans tirer un seul coup de feu. Des témoins ont immédiatement signalé son comportement. Watts s'était laissé arrêter sans opposer de résistance, mais il a refusé de fournir une explication pour son geste et n'a demandé que son nom. Son pistolet était chargé, a attesté l'un des policiers ayant répondu à nos questions. Watts recevra sans doute une plus grande fermeté de la part de la cour de Sa Majesté pour ses agissements. Le jeune homme devrait recevoir une sentence de quelques années d'emprisonnement au moins. Tom Watts, d'accord.
Tom has so much alcohol, he could keep this district afloat for quite some time.
On s'est donné beaucoup de mal hein, pour... ces quelques bouteilles. Hein. On fait le tour. En tout cas c'est bien, ça fait plaisir, on voit qu'on est capable de... d'affronter des monstres beaucoup plus balèzes que nous. Bon, allez, retour à notre mission, on rapportera les bouteilles à notre ami sur leur tour.
Seems like the guard of Prewen is on
Ah,
shore.
j'ai mis ce spark là. Merde, l'endurance. La vie. Putain, et puis la zone est très étroite. Pas beaucoup reculé.
Burn it, boys! Kill it all you deserve!
Puis l'effet de leur flamme là, c'est gaspillé. Un souhait. Je crois qu'il faut le sur les petites attaques simples. L'endurance fait vite défaut. Là il y a eu un enchaînement.
I hate leeches! Crush the leech, boys!
Par le plein.
'Cause
intéressant quand même la gestion des 3 jauges de vie, de sang, d'endurance. Pistolet.
The wounds on this corpse are deep, the result of rabid rage. If this is Sean's doing, he's become a murderous beast.
On a récupéré. Bon. De balèze.
Burn it, boy! Out there, brother!
La technique que je lui rentre dedans fonctionne bien.
Crawl back to the hell it spawned you!
Une stratégie. Par là. L'origine des scales. Il est établi depuis un certain temps que le scale est le nom vernaculaire d'une espèce de buveur de sang inférieur. Les scales semblent souvent être des victimes de vampires qui ont miraculeusement survécu à la mort et qui sont revenus à la vie sous la forme d'une version corrompue de leur créateur. Selon de nombreuses observations faites par notre ordre au fil des siècles, les scales sont habituellement méprisés et tués par les vampires, qui les considèrent comme des créatures inférieures et abjectes. Le nom de cette espèce signifie lui-même esclave. On les a également appelés Sakaliva en arabe, Scalvus en latin ou Sclavenoi en grec. Cela prouve à quel point ces créatures sont anciennes et comment leurs créateurs les considèrent. C'est peut-être pour cette raison que les scales ont souvent tendance à former des petites communautés cachées. Il est également intéressant de remarquer que les scales s'appellent de la sorte entre eux, comme s'ils avaient accepté depuis longtemps leur statut inférieur. Il est difficile pour les scales de dissimuler leur nature monstrueuse. Ils possèdent une peau pâle, les dents en piètre état, une étrange émaciation, des pupilles dilatées et un regard fixe. Nombre d'entre eux ont perdu tous leurs cheveux et présentent des cicatrices et des plaies qui restent béantes sans jamais complètement guérir. C'est celui-là, donc c'est le deuxième document dans la série d'escale. Il semblerait qu'il soit également capable de survivre en se nourrissant de la chair des cadavres, alors que les vampires ont besoin du sang des vivants. Il est possible qu'il soit à l'origine de la figure mythique de la goule, créature folklorique qui rôde dans les cimetières et se nourrit des morts. Les Skalls sont des créatures pitoyables, la plupart du temps ils ont peur d'être vus par les humains et les vampires. Dans certaines régions, d'anciens Skalls ont été aperçus aux côtés de vampires, leur servant de domestiques ou d'esclaves et bénéficiant ainsi d'une protection en échange de leur liberté. La plus grande partie des Skalls descendent des écones et humanoïdes, cas beaucoup plus rares. Certains d'entre eux présentent un aspect plus canin et se comportent comme des loups. On les appelle parfois vulpes. Dans les textes anciens, il existe un troisième type de Skall ayant la forme d'un oiseau ou d'une chauve-souris que l'on appelle Batman. Non, je déconne, c'est Corvus. William Marshall lui-même a trois fois fait allusion à des créatures en forme de chauve-souris qu'il appelle vampires dans ses mémoires. D'autres types existent peut-être, mais ils sont inconnus et n'ont pas été identifiés pour le moment. Issus de Boire à la fontaine du savoir par Usher Taltry, encore prima de la confrérie de l'étoile Saint-Paul. Ça, on a trouvé ici. Je regarde s'il n'y a pas des choses que je peux piquer.
It's locked.
Ça ressemble à notre hôpital. Profiter pour chourer tout ce que je peux. Trouver Sean dans la zone. Bon, j'ai vu une demoiselle, on verra. Oups, on va discuter avec elle.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. May I have your attention for a minute?
Good evening, sir. My name is Giselle Paxton, but I don't have time for men like you.
Have we met before?
No, but I just need to look at your fancy clothes to know that you must be desperate to visit the docks at night.
That's quite judgmental of you.
Sir, I've led enough strikes when I had a job to identify you as an enemy of the working class.
D'accord.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
What is it you want? Does he owe you money? Has he displeased your Royal Highness? I'm no snitch, Mr. Fancy Pants.
You speak of
Êtes-vous
strikes
syndicaliste?
and
La bonne
class
question.
enemy. Am I right to assume you're involved in trade union activism?
You bet I am. Well, I was. Nowadays, I'm just
C'est
another
la
worker
lutte.
blacklisted by the big
Ah, je vais arrêter.
companies.
You lost your job because of your beliefs.
Those bastards really hate a worker who refuses slave wages and unsafe conditions, especially when it's a woman.
Ouais, c'est vrai que ça c'est pas
Isn't
correct.
the whole
Faut que
point
ça
of
change.
trade unions to help workers in need? Why don't they support you?
A few nights back, I lost the money my companions had asked me to hide. With me and my sister being penniless, they thought I stole it.
What really happened?
I drank too much that night. Strange men saw me count the money in that bar. Some sort of militia in uniform. I'm sure they robbed me.
Ah, butin de guerre, nouvelle enquête. Ah, dès qu'on commence à discuter avec les gens, c'est un truc de fou.
May I
dans le
ask
jeu.
what you do for a living?
I'm killing myself scraping for a living. And you? Have you ever had to struggle in your entire life?
As I told you, I'm a doctor. You have to work a lot to earn that title.
Oh, a doctor. Born with money in a nice house, were we? Was Daddy a banker or a doctor himself?
Toujours marrant dans les stéréotypes entre entre guillemets, les gens qui défendent les intérêts du peuple et tout de suite les riches de l'autre. Il y a toujours une confrontation. Les gens savent pas défendre leur situation sans attaquer les autres.
Why such hatred?
De la
Are
société
you
qui est
judging me by my
marrant.
clothes and my job?
Enfin, c'est pas marrant, mais c'est
Fuck, you're so blind.
interpelle.
You don't even see your privilege. Lazy people like you disgust me.
Ils se connaissent pas, mais ils se détestent déjà.
Well, I'll
Bon.
leave you for now. Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Je pense qu'avec son histoire de butin, là, il y aura peut-être moyen de regagner quelques points avec elle et qu'elle nous considère un petit peu mieux. Refuge.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Can I help you?
A fancy doctor lurking at night by the docks? Not fishy at all.
And what about you? Working outside at night in this dangerous part of town?
You want to know my secret? I'm trying to earn money. And I'm Lottie Paxton, by the way.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
Mr. Hampton must be in his office at the night asylum he manages, I suppose. Why do you want to see him?
He was a patient of mine at the Pembroke Hospital, but he left abruptly.
I see. Well, Mr. Hampton is a discreet and dedicated man. I'm sure you'll find him soon enough.
Dans son bureau.
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
On va pas s'attarder trop avec elle. Elle est en train de gueuler l'autre alors que je suis à 50 mètres d'elle.
Why the long face, Doctor?
Oh la vache. Putain, il est bien amoché. Sean Hampton. Notre homme. Comment osez-vous? C'est donc tout ce qui vous inquiète. Nous avons tous les deux bien changé.
It looks like we both have changed a lot. I must confess, it saddens me, Sean.
Put your faith in the Lord, Doctor. He has a plan for all of us. We may not always see it, but he does.
Since you left Pembroke, the amount of blood that has been shed, it's hard to believe you, Sean.
Ask what you will. As the Lord is my shepherd, I will not speak a lie to you.
Vous avez tué Harriet Jones. N'êtes-vous pas effrayé par votre nouvelle condition?
Aren't you afraid of what you've become?
We are blessed, Doctor. Can't you see it? The Lord has made us able to walk amongst the plague and aid those that need it.
Do you think this is a blessing when God's own house and holy symbols repel you?
If that is your burden, Doctor, so be it. But I do not fear the cross, nor am I forced to take the life of another. My kind doesn't share your imperfections.
But you must drink blood now to survive.
No, not your scripture. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. So saith the Lord. I only need to eat flesh, no blood.
Why return here?
This is my home. These people are my flock. You will always find me where I am needed.
Wonders never cease. Scowl managing an asylum.
And what of you? A vampire doctor? Meals laid out before you. Yet you restrain.
And what about William Bishop? He tried to take care of you. But this hunger, this thirst, cannot be restrained.
Alas, poor William. He had a good soul, but was weak in spirit. He could not shake the thirst for booze, never mind blood. But have faith. My will is far stronger than his.
Why did you kill Miss Jones at the Pembroke Hospital?
Killed old Harriet? You must be mad, Doctor. Why would I do such a thing?
Bon, si c'est pas lui.
So you claim Miss Jones' death was not by your hand, nor the other incidents at Pembroke?
Though Harriet was an angry, spiteful woman, she was one of God's creatures. I have nothing but love for all he has made.
But you were close to her.
Of course. But she was lost, separated from the fold. She did not see the hand of the divine in my blessed condition.
People have been murdered. I've seen the blood. I don't believe you can be trusted.
Have a little faith, Doctor. If you will follow, I will guide you to the light.
How do you plan to do that?
Take this key of the old sewers. The entrance is by the riverbank. south from here. There you'll find all the proof you need.
Ah, intéressant. Ouais,
Very well.
je suis assez
You have
d'accord, il a piqué ma
definitely
curiosité.
intrigued me. I hope you're right, Sean.
I'll be here when you return. If you still think I'm a threat then, well, I'll surrender myself to your judgment.
Ah. Alors juste pour terminer ce chapitre, on va aller ramener la bouteille à notre ami.
Much work to do.
Welcome back, Doctor. What can I do for you?
You lied to me, Tom. Your warehouse wasn't empty. It was inhabited with armed vigilantes.
I'm
Il y a
sorry,
même un gros
Dr.
monstre
Reed,
bleu.
but I thought those Pre-One guards would be willing to let someone like you pass without trouble.
That was devious of you, Tom. Next time you can bloody well go yourself.
I apologize, Doctor, but it's just that I prefer to avoid the law, its enforcers, and all manner of thugs in uniform.
On a pillé l'entrepôt, non.
Here
Je
is
suis
your
correct.
booze. I hope it will appease your customers. Just try not to kill anyone with this poison of yours.
Believe me, Doctor, most of my customers are less agreeable when sober.
Un petit peu d'argent. J'ai débloqué quelque chose. Ouais.
You attempted murder. Give me some details.
I was given an order to kill. I was an obedient gang member at the time, a proud wet boot boy.
Why did you join the gang?
Because I finally felt useful. Do you have any idea what it means to feel respected when the rest of the world shits on you?
So you were ordered to kill someone. What happened then?
I don't know if you can possibly understand, but I couldn't kill him. I just stood there pointing my gun. Someone saw me. I gave up.
Why couldn't you shoot?
My target was eating in that fancy restaurant with mirrors and music. He was eating, drinking, laughing. He was having such a good time. I hated him for his bottomless appetite and easy life of easy pickings. And then something happened.
You refused to kill him because you wanted to feel some of that happiness yourself. You empathized with him.
Exactly. The man was a bloody landlord who rented overpriced flats. Selfish bastard. But he made me smile. And I was no different from him.
Tell me about your arrest for attempted murder, Tom.
I tried to kill someone. I got arrested. I paid my debt and I have nothing to hide.
So you mean your customers know about your sordid past?
Yeah, why do you think this is the last pub open? I have nothing to hide and I don't judge. That's a relief for many round here.
Do you think prison changed you? Made you a better man?
Oh, I don't know about that. All I brought back is bad memories, scars, and an ugly tattoo of a blue turtle.
But do you feel cleansed of your sins?
All I know is that I'm at peace. I did what I did, but I wouldn't do it again. Does that make me a better man? I don't know.
Why not leave town and start a new life after you got out of jail?
I grew up in the East End. This is where my roots are. This is where I want to help others and die, eventually.
Don't you feel threatened, staying in such a violent and criminal neighborhood?
I've made peace with my violent past, Dr. Reed. I may not be a pacifist, but I'm not angry anymore.
Do you think the docks will always be a hive of scum and villainy?
As long as poverty and fear run the show, I don't see how it would change. Misery loves company, as they say.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
On est fini avec lui. Pénurie de produits primordiaux.
Drink to the boy. He
En 4 termes, non.
He's just another lost orphan.
We've even been to India.